Watching her get arrested in front of her own kid was priceless. And it all started with a simple, "No, I won't move." See, I work construction as the foreman on a new house build. And this morning, the location alone was a nightmare. The house sits about 250 feet up a hill that's only accessible by a narrow footpath. No vehicles, no shortcuts. Every single piece of material has to be carried up by hand. Literally an entire house, one painful trip at a time. One of the few things that makes this job survivable is that we have 2 official no parking spots on the street at the bottom of the hill, clearly marked and reserved for deliveries. Unfortunately, there's an elementary school about half a block away, and parents constantly decide that those signs don't apply to them. At least twice a day someone parks there just for a minute. I'm reasonable. If we don't need the spots, I let it go. If we do, I politely ask people to move, and 99% of the time they do. Today was the 1%. Our lumber truck called to say he'd be there in 2 or 3 minutes. He was hauling all the lumber for framing the roof, massive beams that would take at least an hour to carry uphill. I headed down to the street to clear the parking spots and saw a parent sitting in her idling car, parked squarely in the no parking zone. I walked up and politely explained that she was illegally parked and we needed the space for a delivery truck. She scoffed and snapped, "I'll just be a few minutes. Take a chill pill." Right on cue, the lumber truck turned the corner. I waved him in and gestured toward her car. She rolled her window up to ignore me. I knocked lightly, and she cracked it open halfway and shouted, "What?" I reminded her again that it was a tow-away zone. That's when she said the magic words. "Can't you just unload around me? Jesus, it's not that hard." A beautiful idea formed. I told the driver to park as close to her as possible, boxing her in between our porta-potty on one end and another parked car on the other. He immediately understood and pulled it off perfectly. We unstrapped the load and started hauling lumber uphill. I also called parking enforcement, not to get her ticketed, just to document why part of the street was blocked. They said an officer would arrive in about 30 minutes. Her kid showed up, and suddenly she realized she couldn't even open her driver's door. She awkwardly climbed out the passenger side, loaded her kid into the back, and then realized she was completely trapped. Furious, she stormed over and demanded we move the truck immediately. The driver calmly explained that company policy forbade moving a truck with an unsecured load. She lost it. At that exact moment, the parking officer arrived. I smiled and said, "Can't you just pull out around it? It's not that hard." She screamed, "Fuck you," jumped back into her car, slammed it into reverse, knocked over our porta-potty, then tried to drive up onto the sidewalk and got stuck, all with her child still in the back seat. The officer ordered her out. Watching her face when she realized she'd done all this in front of police was priceless. She was arrested for child endangerment, reckless driving, destruction of property, and driving on a suspended license. Her car was towed, her kid went home with grandma, and she went to jail.